not the biggest gap, but that offset right there, that'll get in the jaw of any big slab out there. I know we're in the zone.
Again, sitting on the bank or out here fishing, that's a great eating size fish.
Oh,
too.
for sure.
Here we go. Yep. I'll tell you what, them circle hooks are the trick.
They do the job. All right.
Thank you, my friend. Good job. How often can you come catch double catfish? Yeah.
You hog-tied, lassoed, and wrangled this sucker. This is a big fish of the day right here.
They're getting bigger.
They're getting a little bigger.
That is an incredible fish.
Every chance I get, there's a place I go where the bass are biting as the sun hangs low. There's a feeling I get that I hope will never end. On a deep, clear lake or an Ozark stream, I kick back, relax, and I start to dream about what Mother Nature has waiting around the bend. Yeah, Larry and Bob will take me there today. My gear's packed up and I just can't wait to get out on my way. Outdoors in the heartland is like coming home to an old friend. That city life is not for me. There's fun as far as I can see. The great outdoors is where I want to be. Outdoors in the heartland.
Your Quality Ford dealers present Outdoors in the Heartland with Bob Richardson and Larry Woodward. Outdoors in the Heartland is brought to you by Ford and your Quality Ford dealers. Strike King, #1 in fishing lures. Triton Boats, we take America fishing. Yamaha, reliability starts here. Lowrance, we lead, we find, you win.
You know, I feel pretty uncomfortable. I come out and under these conditions here, and I usually got my boat, my rods and reels and all my tackle, but basically, you know, when you come fish with Show Me Catfish, basically you just show up. Of course, our old Triton's made up for bass boats that do a little catfishing, but this is some serious catfishing this guy does. Special built boat, specially laid out and special design to take out customers on the river. So I'm excited. You know, Larry had an opportunity last fall. I'd had my back surgery and had an 8-pound weight restriction, and they started talking about catching catfish that are 10, 15, 20, 30 pounds. And called Doc up. He said, no way. Back is healed. I am ready. I'm pumped to go catch some of these big cats. You know, Ryan, you know, Larry and I have been doing this for almost 20 years, and the TV people look for, one, they want to be entertained. Of course, you catch a lot of big catfish, hoop and holler a lot. Well, I think we'll have a lot of fun. But they want to be educated. They always want to leave the show by learning something. So I know from the last show you did with Larry, it was unbelievable the quality and imagery that I seen. That you know how to set these Lowrance up. Not all people know how to run these things.
You know, they're fairly easy if you want to use like simple settings and things like that, but they're also advanced. I mean, you can fine tune them and get down to the nitty gritty with them.
I know when I talked to you yesterday, you was finding these big cats and marking these cats, and of course the kind of fishing you're looking for. If you can find these fish, there's a good chance you can catch them.
You bet. You know, the right presentation in the right spot, you know, makes a guy lucky.
Well, let's go out there before we get a sunburn.
Let's do it.
How late did you guys fish yesterday?
Till about 2:30. I didn't want to.
Did you catch any more big ones after I talked to you? Your best 5 fish went like 250 pounds.
No, we didn't catch any more. We caught another 30. We did. We caught another 30. There's what we're after right there. See him? That's a fish. You can see him.
Laying right there on the bottom.
Laying right there on the bottom. There's another one right there. Here's another one. So they're here, right where we want them.
Let's go get them.
Let's do it.
Welcome back to Outdoors in the Heartland, now in our 20th season, brought to you by Scent Blocker, the advantage of intelligence, Tree Spider, the new world of tree stand safety.
This is basically the rig we're using. It's a quick change so you can change your weight out, just a overhand loop knot on a slide and swivel, 80-pound braid to another swivel here with your main line or your leader. That's 80-pound to an 8/0 double action Team Catfish hook, snelled. You know, about 24 inches on your leader and about an 18-inch dropper. Pretty simple stuff, but effective.
I think you serious catfishermen have realized how important it is having a good hook, don't you?
It means the world, you know, and these hooks are great. They've got an offset. You know, it's not the biggest gap, but that offset right there, that'll get in the jaw of any big slab out there. And I run some double hooks and singles. These fish are pretty fed. You know, they've been feeding pretty heavy, so they're pretty full. So a lot of times smaller baits are key to catching the bigger fish, but sometimes the bigger baits we're gonna run a big and a small until we figure out what they want and get her going.
All right, I think this is the part that a lot of people don't realize, the amount of work that it takes to get good bait. It's all about bait. It's all about bait in this game. And you know, for you, it's just like these, you know, they don't have a wholesaler come knock at your door and said, hey Ryan, you need any bait today? No, you got to work your butt off. I know you run down to Kentucky Lake at times, you'll fish all day, run all the way down to Kentucky Lake, get good fresh skipjack and catch your bait down there, drive back to be back, you know, the next morning and take these customers. It's a lot of work. It is, you know. I left after my trip to go catch this bait for us for today. There we go. I mean, it's always. And I just show up, get to go reel them in. Hey, that's the joy of coming out with a guide. Well, at least right now it's wishful thinking. Ryan, you mentioned that some of these fish are a little finicky, so from day to day, you look at different size baits you need to cut? You bet. Sometimes it's smaller, sometimes it's the bigger baits, and sometimes it's heads, fillets, chunks. You got to mix it up. You know, I start out trying a little bit of everything until something works more than once, and we'll go from there. But we're going to go with a head and a chunk, and a lot of times these chunks will, one of my favorite baits, is the skipjack chunk. And you know, leave a lot of hook exposed. Always take the scale off. That's one thing it'll cost you a fish every time. Fish, yeah. Every time. And on these head baits, I like to just come in and hook them right up underneath the jaw through the chin there, and come out the. So you're double hooking them. Double hooking the bigger baits. You bet. And we've got double hooked rigs and single hook rigs. And single hook rig I think gives you a little more action, but you know, I've caught a lot of fish on that stinger hook, so I'll put it on there on a big bait. So a lot of these bites are pretty subtle. You know, big catfish live in there. All he does is wait for bait to go bouncing by. He grabs it, eats it. He don't have to exert a lot of energy. Yeah, there he is right there. Holy smoke. All right, these are lever drags. And so, I mean, the more, you know, the farther up we go with these, you know, let out. This is drag right here. So they've got a stopper right here. You can go past that and lock it down. We don't want to. So we're just gonna come up about 3/4 to where it, you know, feels good. Right. Toss these out, let it down till we feel it thunk the bottom, and just kind of feather the spool with your thumb. Just, you know, just kind of lift it up. Once it hits the bottom, you want to stop it. Yeah. And then you just want to lift it up. I keep my rod in a high position like this. I drop it down. I can't feel the bottom. I'm going to let it out. Drop it down, thunk. I want to be right here. I want to be able to drop it down and thunk the bottom. And if not, I'm going to walk it back a little further. This technique takes a long time to you know, get good at, but it's pretty effective. There he is. And we'll run this side. Fish on? I don't know what you got going, but something's not right there. Something's not right. I thought I was on the bottom snag. I don't know if we got bottom coming with us or. Catfish and a pear tree. Well, that's the way you start off a morning. I don't know which way is more the tree or the catfish, but I don't think I've ever caught two at one time like that. Yeah. Yeah, if we could catch them catfish quite just about that long, we'd be in pretty good shape. We'd be all right, wouldn't we? Well, you had them hook good. Well, there's the first one. That's the way to do it, man. Woohoo! Good job, Bob. Now we found the babies.
Yeah. We'll have to get after the big dogs. He's not very big, but that's he's
He ain't very big.
well, I mean that's a decent fish. He's no giant.
He's been catching too many big catfish.
He's pulling a little drag. Well, he just sucked it in and just, you know, took her right on down. It's just like he's supposed to. They've been just mouthing it and, you know, kind of dropping it. This one got with the program here.
I am telling you, if I went to my house and shot a gun 3 times in the air,
Yeah?
I'd hear it from here.
No kidding.
And here I am, got these big old catfish in my backyard.
Oh,
I don't come out here.
it's you need to more often. This is we're fixing to see him here.
You need a net, or is this one?
I think we can probably grip him. That's depending on if he wants us to.
Holy smokes!
That's a good way to start it.
Look at the belly on that thing.
Yeah, I think
I normally say, look at the head on that. It looks like Woodward.
It does kind of look like Woodward.
I can pick on Larry today. He's not here to defend himself.
All right.
Whew, look at that.
There we go. That's a good way to start it.
That is the way to do it, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's it. What a pretty catfish.
That's a good way to start it.
That's probably, what, right at 20?
Yeah, I'd say he's right in there somewhere.
Yeah. What a pretty fish.
Good thick fish.
Broken up a storm.
Yeah. We get him back. Let's get another
There
one.
you go.
All right, buddy.
These are bonus cats. It's not even daylight yet.
That's right.
Welcome back to Outdoors in the Heartland, now in our 20th season, brought to you by the Whitetail Institute of North America. Deer nutrition is all we do.
Welcome back to Outdoors in the Heartland. You know, Bob and Captain Ryan spent the rest of the day catching a whole lot more blue catfish. And we'll see all that action in an upcoming episode, but for right now, it is time to hunt. Hey, this week we're back in the mountains of South Central New Mexico hunting with my good friend, Joseph Graham. This was a bad season for us, weather-wise that is. We were fighting rain the whole archery elk season. But eventually, Joseph got his bull a really big 6x7.
He was going away, and I shot him, and it went in, you know, behind the hind quarter and went right into the boiling room. And he run down there and laid down, so I just sat down and watched him and watched him and watched him, and finally he just stood up and took about 7 or 8 steps and fell over.
We typically usually hunt the second season. The first one's good, but the second one's always better. But this has been a good first season now.
The bulls are just screaming up here right now. I mean, you can see the weather. Yeah. We had some hot days there for a while, and today was the day.
We've been hunting together for 15 years. If you want to go on a quality elk hunt, see a lot of elk, get opportunities to shoot one, you got to close the deal. You need to give Joseph Graham a call.
But as my season started, the rain would not quit, just torrential downpours. You know, our electronic equipment that we carry around to film these hunts out there does not like moisture. So we were stuck at Joe's for days. But this morning was going to be clear at daylight anyway, so we were back out there after him.
Looks like the weather's just on the west side of us and it's going north. We're just barely getting a little bit of it.
A little bit of it is too much of it after 4 days.
Anyway, that's what we're dealing with.
By the time we walked a couple miles in from the truck and crested the mountain that we wanted to call off into this valley, there was a little bit of sunshine coming through the clouds. Well, we had what sounded like a good bull answering Joseph's every call, but we had to hurry up and get across this valley and close the gap to get to him. There's bulls bugling all around, and this one is getting closer and closer. Joseph and Riker are calling to me, off to the side of me, and then bang, there he is.
This segment of Outdoors in the Heartland has been brought to you by Mossy Oak. It's not a passion, it's an obsession. Welcome back to Outdoors in the Heartland, now in our 20th season, brought to you by Ford and your quality Ford dealers. Strike King, #1 in fishing lures. Triton Boats, we take America fishing. Yamaha, reliability starts here. Lowrance, we lead, we find, you win. And Gilbreth's Taxidermy, the official taxidermist of Outdoors in the Heartland.
Hear that? Sounds like a big growly one coming from the direction I'm looking right there. We're gonna let him walk because this one over here sounds much bigger. Hey, there's a lot bigger one coming from up in here. I'm gonna step up here a little bit if you go down there. I've been hunting animals with sharp sticks longer than I really want to tell you, but I have never seen one do the damage that this rage did on this bull today. I seen him fall over backwards right here. I'm like, I know I seen this bull fall over backwards not far from where I shot him. Here he is. That was scaring me. I'm like, I seen him fall over. Time's up. Oh my God. I wasn't gonna pass him.
He's heavy, heavy.
Time's up, baby, time's up. I tell you why I did what I did. In this fog, I couldn't get a range. Without that one tree, there's about 12. I'd look up the hill, 12 yards on stuff that's obviously 50 or 60.
Same problem.
And I was afraid for him. I think he would have walked on out in the open or did something. But I'm like, I got a gimme shot right there, and I can't get a range. And
Hey, he didn't go anywhere.
no,
I mean, you shot him less than 3 minutes ago, and we're already on top of it.
well, I see him fall backwards over the hill. Look at the body on this thing. That's a full-grown individual. I'm gonna tell you what, we've shot some big bulls in our days, boy. That's some big bases right there. How big around are them? They're big. I bet them are 13-inch bases.
Fun's over and the work begins.
You know, that's the thing about this. We have got some work to do now, because we are literally 2.5 miles from the truck, and every bit of this has to be carried on our backs out of here. You know, normally once you've shot the animal and you're doing your grip and grin, that's the end of the show. But as any big game hunter knows, after you kill it, that's when the hard work begins. You know, we hunt areas that are hard to get to, and that has a lot to do with our success. When you kill a big bull like this thing's got to come out of there in about 5 or 6 pieces. Luckily, we had cell phone service where we were at, and Joseph called his neighbors, Mike and Jericho Testerman, and they hiked in to help us with the pack out.